Who are the 17%? Who are they? Who the hell are the 17%? Anybody in here from the 17%? Don't raise your hand. That may be dangerous. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So I think I might have been in Washington 17 times in my life. 17, 17, and 17, 17, 17, 17. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. I spoke to him 17 minutes ago. I hung up the phone as you're coming in. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17. So you had 17 Republicans plus me. 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, 17, planning it for 17 years.
and the show starts in 17 seconds. I just thought of it. Maybe I should have tried to do an introduction with the show starts in 17 seconds to let that. I just thought of it now. But anyway, guys, I'm back live after over a month, 5 weeks. Can you imagine? I bet you guys missed me live, right? Freedom Family, the Truthers, the Patriots, the Common Sensors. Obviously, the people that follow me have common sense. The people that don't follow me, well, that's that's their problem. The people that do follow me they're following me for a reason. Common sense, the truth, no fear mongering, and I'm batting 99%. I only messed up once, and that's to put Mark Carney. I never thought in a million years that Mark Carney would win, but we never thought Joe Biden would win either, right? So exposure, awakening, same thing that we're going to have to do down here in Canada, save the best for last. I've always said that. I didn't know if they're going to save Canada for last or the United States, but it's 100% Canada is going to be the last. Obviously, peaceful country, probably just as much greediness and evilness and corruption, probably just as much as United States. Obviously, nothing competes with the United States when it comes to corruption. But anyway, back on this Thursday night, guys. So yeah, when summer is done, sometime in September, we'll be doing back the Mondays and Thursday nights again to get out the information. Because like I said, a lot of things are going to happen. A lot of things happen over the summer, especially in Canada. So the August was a hot month, guys, for the people in Canada. Obviously, they're trying to really push that Agenda 2030, which people are still numb to know what Agenda 2030 is, but that's fine. I've said it once, I said it twice, I said 1,000 times. No matter how much the liberals try to push the Agenda 2030, we have the man himself, Donald Trump, that will save and explode and expose everything when it comes to the Agenda 2030, the NWO, WEF. I'm not worried, but it's great to see. Oh my God, Jeff, can you believe it that Mark Carney said that in 2035 there will be no more cars? They're trying to do this and they're trying to do that and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. They ain't going to do shit. As long as Donald Trump has air in him and is still alive, this is just going to come to an end. Guys, I mean, if you haven't seen it by now, then you're never gonna see it until it actually hits you in the face. But anyway, it is what it is. So before we start the show, everything, guys, I almost forgot. We have to get the family. We got to do some shout outs, obviously, right? We got the family to deal with, see who's watching tonight, and anyone local from me, see who's not at that crazy country concert that's in my city with a bunch of talentless people, and I do mean that talentless. There's no such thing as a country concert with a black guy that never wore a cowboy hat in his life except for photo ops. Tomorrow is the poster boy for obesity with the more tattoos on his face than you can imagine. No such thing as a country. Luke Bryan. Well, I like Luke Bryan. Unfortunately, he's on America's Got Talent. Unfortunately, he's sitting beside the devil herself, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie. So he didn't make it there because of his good looks and his singing. Obviously, he's part of the cabal. We'll let you guys figure that out for yourself on how. But anyway, let's do the shout outs and we'll go from there, guys. Shout outs going out to Miss Judy from Kentucky, Roland, Gilles Bourgeois, Marcel Robichaud, Annette, Martin, Geneviève from The Rock, Miss Lynn Hart, Jane from the hot Florida, John Daly from Pennsylvania, USA, Miss May, Sean brother from a different mother from Oshawa. He's streaming from the Union. Joel Dag, brother from a different mother, Annette, Miss Juanita, Jim Morrison, Miss Jane, Brent, Miss Terry from Ottawa, Michelle, Mike Boom from Riverview. Who else here? Brenda Pryor, Michelle from Ontario, Miss Tamara, Sheila from Texas, Miss Carrie from Ontario, Gloria, from California, Karen Ross, Debbie Kwan, Norman. Who else, guys? We got a bunch here. Jen, how you doing, Jen? Grabowski, welcome home. Yeah, it was a hell of a trip. Never again will I book anything from Air Canada. Never again. Let's just put it that way. How you doing, Muriel? Mo from Manitoba. Pauline, Gerald Pitou, is Cecile, and Mac and Mr. Key. That's a lot of 17s. I hope you guys loved the intro. I really do hope you guys love that intro, because that intro is beautiful. You can't get, there's no such thing as coincidence. You think Donald Trump lost his mind by saying 17, 17, 17 over 100 times in that little clip? There's a reason why he keeps on saying 17, 17, 17. I'll let the people that don't know figure it out, but we all know why he, why he does this, obviously. All right, so what we're going to do, guys, I've got videos, and I've got, and Billy, how you doing, Billy, from Foresters Falls? So yeah, I've got videos, I've got pictures. We'll talk about it. I'm going to share this video with you. I'm going to try to get back into the routine because it's been a while. I'm going to share this video. It's 3 minutes long, guys. And many times I hear the arguments about Donald Trump and all the politicians. They're on the same feathers on the same bird, and they're doing the same thing. And Donald Trump is this, and Donald Trump is that, and he's playing this game, and he's the Antichrist, or he's the devil in disguise, or as Tyler from the flat fittest earther would say, he's the devil himself, Satan. Love that guy, but unfortunately he's 100% wrong with this. And so yeah, I'm going to show you this 3-minute video. It's just a common sense video. This guy nailed it all, about how much corruption, how much evilness it was in the United States since who knows when. But it all started in, with the whole 9/11 baloney, which literally I got kicked out of college for calling it out as it is, as the buildings were falling. I was saying that's a bunch of crap. That's controlled demolition. My marketing teacher threw me out of class, said that I had no heart, and obviously he's a teacher, so obviously he's dumb as they can, as dumb as they can be. But 23, 24 years later, who's the dumbest? It wasn't Mr. Jeff. So anyway, so I'm going to share this video. If Trump would be on the same feather, on the same bird, or in the same category as everybody else, even though he's not a politician, everyone should know this, Trump is not a politician. All right, say it with me. Trump is not a politician. All right. So I want you to watch this 3-minute video. If Trump was even part of the cabal, part of the elite, or Lucifer in some people's cases, a quarter, not even 1/10 of this stuff that they've done to him, which I don't think everybody realizes. This is just a little glimpse of what they've done to Donald Trump. But it sums up, quite a bit, but it's not all of it. And check it out. I'm going to share it, and you guys will see it for yourself and go, yeah, shoot, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Check this out, guys. I got to go in here.
Did you know they stole over $2 trillion? Just poof, it's gone. They don't know where it's at. So the airplane hits the building. Some of y'all know it as 9/11. Then they had to cover that shit up. They blamed it on They said it was Osama bin Laden. So here. So they tried that with Trump. 11 different times. And each time got more and more aggressive. First, then COVID pops up out of nowhere. That's when they told us all to just stay home and mail in our vote. Magic spikes in the vote counts at 3 o'clock in the morning in Biden's favor. The Clintons endorsed Obama. Obama endorsed his previous vice border wide up, tanked our economy, and sent hundreds of billions of dollars all over the world. But more importantly, they also tried to make sure Trump could never
It didn't want to work, huh, guys? It didn't want to work. Hold on for a second. Can you guys see me now? Okay. Freezing. Guys, I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's the problem when I try to share good things, guys. Can you guys hear me? Is it still lagging? Are we still good to go? Because I don't know what's going on with it freezing, but obviously it must be a good video for it to for them to keep on freezing it, right? It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, but I can't share that video with you guys, and that's a shame because that was really such a good video. You're okay? I'm okay, guys? Okay, perfect. All right. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Again, the video that I want to share, of course, they're not gonna allow it. Of course, they're not gonna allow it. It was such a good video of showing everybody of exactly what they try to do with Donald Trump. I had a feeling that they were going to freeze the video or not share it. It is what it is. It doesn't surprise me at all. I kind of had a hint that they would do that. Even the little bit of lagging video was not you. Okay. They don't want us to show. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to show. But anyway, it is what it is. I can't show that video, obviously. I'm sorry about that, guys, but the show must go on. So again, like he said, they try to do so much against Donald Trump to try to take power, and they can't do it. So again, with the 2020 election stalled and did the whole Joe Biden, but at the same time, they were, there was a great awakening. They were just showing exactly how much corruption there was of who was running the show. They pointed everything out when it came to Obama doing everything and Hillary Clinton and the Bushes. Obviously, we know about the Bush funeral, the Bush senior funeral with the white envelopes. That was probably the day that I literally said, "Oh my God, this is really happening. This is not the whole Q thing and everything was it was true." All right. So we'll just leave it like that. But it was exactly the whole white envelopes at the Bush funeral that I knew that everything was legit. All right. Everything was legit. And I had to analyze the video because one thing you got to remember, someone was filming, actually had the camera on those people exactly for a purpose, right? Can I get a hell yay? So yeah, the video wasn't on anybody else except the people in those exact envelopes. Call it a coincidence. It wasn't a coincidence. It was exactly what was supposed to happen, and everyone got to see. And if anyone didn't see the white envelopes, send me a message, or maybe I'll try to share it on my next live. Maybe I probably can find it somewhere if they haven't erased it by now. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it was a pretty good video. I know I shared it a couple, 6-7 times in the past, but I'm sure I could probably find it if you guys are interested to see it, the white envelope, or you probably could find it on DuckDuckGo. Norman said they saw it. If anyone has seen it, or if anyone can find it, it's probably on DuckDuckGo with the white envelopes at George Bush Sr.'s funeral. And the whole video, I'm hoping, should be there. Share it with the post, like put it on the messages so everybody could see it. You know, that would be great. If you could do that, that would be great. If not, please send it to me and I'll share it. But I'll try to save it for the next time. But that was the day that I woke up. That was the day that I knew that this is happening and there's no stop for what's going to happen. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Brave search also. I don't know what that means. Is there such thing as a brave search? I don't know. There's so much things out there. Taraya said she saw it. Great video from Genevieve. Yeah, it was awesome. A lot of truth to that video. All right. Did I have one thing I want to show you guys also is there's been a lot of talk about this accident that happened in Florida with this, of course, Indian immigrant. And it's really bad to the point that even DeSantis, Florida governor, has put his 2 cents in it. And what it is this Pakistan, Punjabi, whatever you want to call it, came in illegally in 2018 through the gates of Mexico. They tried to deport him. They had him for deportation in 2019. And then when Trump, his administration were trying to send them out for deportation. And that's when the whole COVID started. And then that's when the COVID started. Of course, everything shifted over to the world. So anyway, he got to sneak in, stayed in California, got a job as a truck driver. Totally, this wasn't his first accident, but he demolished a whole bridge that he drove on, a wooden bridge that wasn't even supposed to have a truck on there, demolished the whole bridge. And then this accident that happened that really shocked. The video went viral. All right. The video went viral for what he did. The people didn't see it by now. You're going to see it. Did someone share the envelopes? Janko, did you share the video, the YouTube? Give me a thumbs up if you shared that video, because I can take that video and I see a link here, but I can't click on the link. But if that's the video for the here's the video. Thank you, my friend. If you guys want to see the whole George Bush funeral with the white envelopes, look at the link that Janko V Polo just sent. I can't see if that's your last name, Janko, but thank you. Check out that link. Check out the video. If that doesn't wake you up, and if you don't think those envelopes weren't there on purpose, take a good look at that video and see for yourself. Thank you for that link. I'll get that link myself later and save it to my podcast for next time. But check this video out, guys, for the people that didn't see. It killed 3 people in Florida. It's not a good video, and it's happening all across North America, obviously, with these immigrant Punjabi drivers. So anyway, see this video and you'll see what I'm talking about. And that there's many. I got 2 of them, but specifically this one is pretty damn disturbing. Check this out. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I want you guys to see his face. Take a look at his face. Did you guys see the video? Take a look at his face. The face that, it didn't faze him, for one thing. I would have been traumatized, for one thing. I would have been crying. I would have lost, I would have been had PTSD. But it was a bad accident. It was a bad accident, and it took the life of 3 people. So that was one. I want you guys to check out another accident during the same week, but check out this Punjabi/Indian truck driver.
I have a master come in here. We're not letting anybody in. Okay, what's your pickup number or delivery number? It starts with a 2-3. No.
So if you guys weren't paying attention, maybe it went too fast. Let me show you again. It's 8 seconds. Of course, Punjabi on his phone. They do it all the time. And I'll give you an example how I know that for a fact.
I have a match to come in here. We're not letting anybody in. Okay, what's your pickup number or delivery number? It starts with a 2-3. No.
So as you can see there, he was on his phone. And the funny thing is, guys, and there's nothing funny about this, is the funny thing is, as I was on the bus coming from Toronto to Montreal, as I was coming down on the bus, okay, it was a double-decker bus, okay, a double-decker. So I was sitting on top. And every time we were to pass a transport truck, 90% were immigrants, Punjabis, Indians, whatever you want to call them, push-start Indians. And every one of them, all right, and I won't say every one of them. There was actually one out of how many? I would say 95% of them had their phones on a I would say something that you could put your cell phones on that are planted there on a stabilizer, I guess you could call them. All right. And literally they had shows or movies playing on their cell phone, and you could see it because I was actually higher than them in the double decker. And I was just shaking my head as we were passing transport trucks. And these dudes were literally had their eyes watching TV while they're driving transport trucks. Okay. I even watched one. He was he had his hand and he was doing this on his cell phone while driving. So it's a shame that every time that I'm out on the road now, it doesn't matter if I'm driving in the city, I have my seatbelt on. Before, I never used to put my seatbelt on because I had something against seatbelts. Like, that's a long story. But now I make sure that me and my son, we have our seatbelt on all the time, no matter if it's going to the corner store, because obviously our town is full of them. All right. Town is full of them. I'm not taking a chance. I see an average. There's a buddy of mine, I won't name his name, Nick, that sends me messages. He's a delivery driver for a company. And he tells me on an average that he sees about 2-3 accidents a day. All right. He's a delivery driver. So he's out there. And I usually say, were they all immigrants? And yeah, they're all immigrants. Every single one of those accidents, it's always an immigrant, no matter what you think or say. And I know the white people had accidents before. Guys, I mean, our sponsor of the show, Andre Dupree Towing, who sponsors the show, he's a tow truck driver, all right? A tow truck driver. And he can vouch when he tells you that, most of his accidents that he goes to, if he goes to the accidents instead of just toll calls, but any accident he goes to, he can tell you that, a good chunk of those accidents are because of the newcomers, I guess you could say, right? I don't think he'll shy away by saying that, even though a lot of people shy away because they don't want to hurt their reputation. But I don't think he'll shy away when it comes to that. They don't even have the hours of training they're supposed to have for driving transport. They just give them their license. Yeah, we all know that it's just fly by night driver license colleges, whatever you want to call them, for truck drivers in Ontario, Brantford, Brampton, whatever, mainly in Brampton. And they are getting their license like out of a Cracker Jack box, I guess you could say. It's sad. It's, it is what it is eventually. But you know what? I'm telling you something. The United States is not putting up with it. All right. Trump's not putting up with it. All right. I had a good statistic. Get this. Here's a good statistics in Canada alone. In Canada alone. All right. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. It's a statistic that I'm going to pull up with Canada. All right. Check this out. 24 people were killed by legal gun owners in 2022. So let me repeat. 24 were killed in Canada, not the United States or North America. In Canada, were killed in 2022 by legal gun owners. Now, we don't know if that's because of legal gun owners, if that's because someone breaking into their home, which we've seen what's happening in Ontario. Someone broke in a home and he's getting charged for beating up the guy. But anyway, 80 were killed by third world truck drivers in 2023. And that's 2023. That's not 2025. That's 2023, when this whole, since 2021, this whole immigration thing went, during the COVID days, and they're literally letting people in while most Canadians were staying home, and they didn't want to see them in the airport. So they were shipping them in so people couldn't see them coming in by the hundred thousands. I'll give you another statistic. But anyway, before I give that statistic, so 24 killed with legal guns in 2022. 80 were killed by third world truck drivers, aka Punjabis, in 2023. And guess which ones the Liberals want to ban? I don't think you guys can't see that. But guess which ones the Liberals want to ban? All right? They want to ban the gun owners. They want to ban the guns, but they don't want to ban the migrants driving and causing terror on the road by killing more Canadians. But here's another fact and a statistic for you people. There have been more Indians, I'm not even adding Africans to that. There have been more Indians, Punjabis, what's other place there by Punjabi, India, and there's another one. I can't remember what it's called. Sri Lankans. Thank you, Jeff. Sri Lankans. There has been more migrants from those three countries in the past 3 years than the past 100 years. Okay, so if you take the stats from 2021, from 100 years prior to that, okay, there have been more migrants coming in from those three countries in the last 3 years than the last 100 years. And you don't think this is not being done by design? You don't think that's not being done by design? The Liberals are in power specifically, not because they got voted in, all right? They're in there for a reason, the same thing Joe Biden was, to specifically ruin the economy. So when someone tells me, oh my God, Jeff, that just sounds so racist, it's you people. It's your voices why I support the depopulation agenda. It's those people why I support the depopulation agenda. And that's not sounding cruel, all right? Because that's not cruel. It's because of these people that are ruining the future for many Canadians and my son's future. And I won't put up with it. To me, it's treason. Treason is defined as going against your country. You understand? Doing things against your country. Well, I believe every Liberal voter, every elbows up voter today that voted elbows up Liberal, even though I know the election was stolen, okay, that's 100%. I don't care what anybody says. Carney didn't win that fair and square, not by 400,000 votes. Give me a break. Anyway, every elbows up voter should be trialed for treason, because that's exactly what treason is. All right. It's bad enough that they made people believe that the vaccination, if you don't take the vaccination, you're going to lose your job and you won't be able to travel. You've seen how far that lasted, right? They did a good run. Don't get me wrong. They did a good run. They grabbed some people. They grabbed some people with that baloney. Just this alone a week, guys, we're what, Thursday today? I've had probably 5 people message me, 5 people locally message me about them having cancer, turbo cancer, blood clots, but mostly all cancer. Actually, all 5 of them were all cancer, not even a blood clot, all cancer. All right, from stomach cancer to lung cancer to kidney cancer to bladder cancer. One got it in the throat, spread to her lungs and down to her kidneys. One person, like within weeks, all right, and wanted some ivermectin and fenbenzidol and stuff like that. I've sent out so much ivermectin and fenbenzidol this week. and it's going to get worse. All right, it's going to get worse. But the problem is, and I'm straight up with these people. I say, listen, you guys got to tell me, are you vaccinated? And of course, all of them, every single one of them were vaccinated. And I don't have a hate on these people, obviously. I don't have a hate on them, obviously. So I said, okay, you can take the Fens, you can take the ivermectin, you can take your activated charcoal, and obviously for your kidneys, you're going to need, or your liver, you're going to need, you're going to need milk thistle because it's strong stuff. But it's only putting the band-aid on the problem. The problem is you have that spike protein in you. You need to get the spike protein out of you by taking the Dr. McCullough spike protein detoxification. All right. So that's the kicker. It's taken both at the same time, which I don't like mixing, and I don't want to deal with play with people's lives. So I always ask, are they vaccinated? So I go straight for the point, and even though I know the right answer, I go straight to the point, and not to make them feel guilty, I usually will ask, are you vaccinated? Instead of say, you're vaccinated, aren't you? Because I could literally say that, and I'll be 99.9% correct, especially when someone says they have cancer and it's terrible cancer. All right, 99.9%, I will hit it on the nail. All right, and it sucks because I don't want to hear people saying they have cancer because of the government forced them to do this for their job. All right, I was a firefighter. I quit my job to not get the vaccination. It was my dream job. Guys, I quit my dream job, which, if you ever been into firefighting, I'm the first one in, the last one out. And I quit it because I knew what the jabs had. I knew what was going to happen in the future. And what's the sense of having a dream job if you don't know if you're going to be alive to last any long? And I don't know about you, but I want to see my son graduate. I want to see my son get married. I want to see my son have kids. I want to be a grandpa. I'm not hurrying about the grandpa part, though. Don't get me wrong. That can wait. But just this week alone. Anyway, so if you have friends, if you have family, if you have neighbors that have cancer, please send me a message so we can get on the ball of trying to help these people out and switching them around so they're not so much elbows up anymore. And I hope to God that they're the elbows up with the two fingers in the ass, that they turn around and they finally realize that the liberal government was put in there for a purpose to literally, by the WEF, in the cabal, in all those people, to destabilize the country, bring in digital ID, bring in the NWO, New World Order, bring all of that digital currency. But is it going to work? No, it's not going to work. And please stop listening to Titania, Truth Seeker, when she's talking about there's going to be another pandemic. No, 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 no. I will bet my farm when it comes to telling people, not in our lifetime will there ever be another pandemic. So please stop listening to podcasters with their fear-mongering about stuff. Now, Titania, Truth Seeker, didn't tell you, but she went to the States. She moved to the States. She said it's because of work. It's not because of work, guys. It's because she got a following. She got a huge following. I don't know how she did it. For a girl that says she works in the oil patch, I worked in the oil patch. I never had time to do a lot of things on Facebook and stuff like that, but apparently she does. Anyway, it's because in the United States, if she has a great following on TikTok, she will get paid for every view that she gets. So of course she went and go, oh my God, honey, let's move to the States. Let's move to Texas because it's the oil patch. Let's bring my TikTok account there so I will get paid for doing this. Jeff doesn't get paid for doing this. I'll stay in Moncton, New Brunswick and not move to take advantage of getting paid for TikTok and these videos. All right. I do this so I can help people learn, help them with their futures, their lives, help them to calm their nerves down of people fear-mongering saying, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm not here to make money. If I was, I would have did a TikTok account a long time ago. I would have did it like everybody else. But I don't. I do this on a base that there's 84 people, 88 people, 120 people watching. I picture myself in a small room with 120 people, and I'm doing a speech and I'm helping people. For me, that's a lot of people in my book. I don't need to branch out and move to the United States to take advantage on TikTok of getting payouts like Titania Truth Seeker. When you guys can see the truth, there's nothing that could, there's no BS. You understand? When your eyes are open, your pineal glands open, there's nobody else that can fool you. All right? Including Miss Titania, including Chris Donkey Teeth Sky, including other people. All right? You see right through the BS, and it's a joke, it's a laugh. And once you open up that pineal gland and you use your common sense, then you realize, like, wow, I think he was right all this time. She started selling these products and then doing this thing about online gaming, and you could win and stuff like that. Guys, please, for the love of God, pick, choose and pick of who you're going to follow that gives you the best information, and that is not fear mongering. All right. That's my best bet for you, because problem is I get hundreds of messages every single day and say, Jeff, I heard this Big Daddy say that this, and this, and this, and Big Daddy this, and Big Daddy that. And I'm like, listen, Nazera Jazera. All right. And I'm going to talk about Nazera Jazera. All right. Because I even had a lot of people. Guys, you got to understand, Nazera Jazera has nothing to do with us getting a large sum of money for our birth certificates. Yes, all that's true. All right. Don't get me wrong. Yes, Nazera Jazera is true. But don't expect to get millions of dollars in a bank account that we're going to have for us personally. That's just not common sense. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that in a common sense focus kind of way is, if everybody has millions of dollars, no one's going to want to work. You understand? No one's going to want to work. Everyone's going to be on vacation. Why would you want to work if you have millions of dollars? That's not how this is going to work with the Nazera Jazera. Please use some common sense. All right? Nazera Jazera is going to work where everybody's going to have no income tax. Food's going to go down to like the 80s. The price of gas is going to go down to like the 80s, when it's back to 60 cents to 80 cents. No more income tax. I think there's going to be no more land or property tax. They're already doing it in United States with Florida. This is the way that Nazera Jazera is going to work. The med beds, all right? No more pharmaceuticals, and the pharmaceuticals you do get are going to be licensed to actually cure people and help people, not make them sick, but they're going to be affordable. That's what Nazera Jazera is all about, all right? Just to let you know. You like that one, Steven? Donkey Teeth? He's still roaming around there, Donkey Teeth, Chris Sky. I seen someone shared something with me. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't share anything from Donkey Teeth, Chris Sky to me again. I'm asking for a favor. If you want to listen to him, tell him to shave and tell him to shave a couple inches off his teeth. But please don't share anything with Chris Sky. So Debbie says, I agree, Jeff. Logically, it does not make sense that everyone gets millions and millions of dollars. Yeah, Debbie. I mean, I hear it all the time. But common sense, guys, use your common sense. I'm not going to name names out there. Use your common sense. That's what Nazera Jazera is going to be. All right. Yes, they're going to talk about how our birth certificates were traded on the stock market. And yes, we're worth this. But we're not getting anything except a sum of money, probably a month, basic income, plus whatever you work. So basically, you'll be living good, where you're not going to be living paycheck by paycheck, but you're not going to get millions of dollars up front. Can you imagine the homeless people and the people on the streets with millions of dollars? Oh my God, there'd be syringes all over the place. There'd be 3/4 of them having, doing ODing on the street corners. That's not how it's going to work. All right. Just, I just don't want to give anyone false hope. I never said once that we're going to get money. This is how Nazera Jazera is going to work. But we are going to get what they call a basic income every month, plus whatever you work. You understand? Some say 2,000, some say 1,800. That's what that is. But we're not really going to need that if the prices drop down to 80s, back in the 80s prices for food and gas prices, right? Just to let you know. Do you think the credit cards will be paid off with Nazera? Now, that's another thing I don't know and I don't want to say, but I do believe because the credit card companies are making a lot of money on interest, I do believe they're going to do something with the credit card debt. All right. And the mortgages. I do believe they're going to do the mortgage thing also, take away the mortgage, because obviously the banking system, right? Now, without the mortgage, how they're going to do for people that are renting, there's a lot of unknown answers for that. What about people renting apartments? Are they going to ever pay rent? You understand? So I'm sure they have a think tank of what they plan on doing. But before they can implement the Nazera Jazera, guys, they still have to do a lot of cleaning up, draining the swamp. All right? So bits and pieces. All right? Just to let you know. That's why in the United States, they're starting with the income tax. They're abolishing the IRS. They already abolished it, but they're abolishing the IRS. You kind of heard of the universal basic income. That was just a hint, even though people are saying, "Oh my God, the UBI is going to be a bad thing because the government is planning this and the government's planning that." That was all those podcasters fear mongering. The UBI was a hint, universal basic income, that you will get. Everybody will get on top of whatever they make to work. But people switched it around, made the UBI sound like not Nazera Jazera, but the WEF, that the government's going to give you $2,000 a month. And if you stop doing what the government tells you on your credit score, they'll raise the UBI. No, that's not what universal basic income is all about. Universal basic income is linked to Nazera Jazera. That puts that to play. And not even Truth Seeker even knows stuff like that, because she's still blabbing her mouth that the UBI is with the WEF and the NHO and the digital ID, and she's still preaching the digital ID and all this. Yes, that was the playbook plan. You can read it like Chris Donkey Teeth Sky did in the Great Reset book, which I'm sure she read, or the Agenda 2030, which I'm sure she probably took a glance, or the book by Orwell, 1984. Okay, these people, they read these books and they think that they're smart by coming out. Whatever they thought that they were going to do is not going to happen. I won't mention her name again, but she said, well, you know that this one was good, that it was a test. The pandemic was a test, and they had it on different stages. Stage 1 is to see if anyone would take it. Stage 2, they want to see how many people would comply if they lost their job. Stage 3 is if they give incentives. And it was all different stages for future planning of the pandemic. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But you know what? People seem to eat it up, and I don't understand. And she's making the money on TikTok, or people eating it up. All right. And if you follow her, that's great. I can insult anybody I want, because you know what? At the end of the day, when you open up this pineal gland, that third eye, you will follow and you'll see the bullshit that has been thrown at you. I think there's only one person that I can honestly agree with on political stuff, and that's political stuff, would be Mario. Sometimes I watch his TikTok accounts with Mario. He strictly talks about just Canadian politics, which is great. I don't follow Canadian politics, to be honest with you. So, but Mario would probably be the only one that's up to date with a lot of things and gets a lot of views. I hope he's making some money on it. But obviously, if he's on TikTok, doesn't matter how many viewers on TikTok. TikTok in Canada doesn't pay. So if Mario was smart, he'd do like Titania Truth Seeker and move to the States and get paid for it. But obviously, he doesn't get paid for it. Mario rules. I like him. Property tax gone too. I can dream. Yeah, property tax will be gone because it's actually illegal, Pauline. They're actually doing it in Florida as we speak. They're going to be getting rid of the property tax because it is illegal along with other taxes. So that's what Nazera Jazera is all about, guys. At the end of the day, I hate to tell you that, but that's what it is. Don't expect millions. Let's move on. All right. Like you guys know, the Pierre Poilievre won. So I'm going to get into Canadian politics for a minute. Pierre Poilievre won, obviously, by a landslide. So for the people that say the politicians suck, they're on the same thing, and Poilievre is this and Poilievre's that, guys, I stop it. At the end of the day, I don't believe Pierre is there to hurt Canadians. And I'm going to be honest with you, even if Pierre jumped in and did all the stuff and did everything opposite than what he promised, I can guarantee you there'd be a civil war and shit would hit the fan in Canada. Why the shit didn't hit the fan already? It's almost there. It's almost there. I can see people having another rally, another freedom convoy, if it's organized by the right people, but not going down there for a circle jerk. You understand? I won't waste my time going to Ottawa for a circle jerk. All right, that holding up signs, that's not why I'm going to go. But they're at the point that as soon as more immigrants keep on coming, people are going to get to the point that desperation, and when they get desperate and backed up in the corner, that's when it's, like a bull, a raging bull. All right. And Ottawa is going to be that red flag, that red carpet. And that's when that stuff is going to happen. Am I worried about it? No, I'm not worried about it, because I know what's going to happen with Donald Trump. As you can see, and I shared this the other day, Donald Trump is exposing Mark Carney for what he is. The meeting in Washington, sources in Ottawa, he put a plant where Mark Carney was supposed to be. He put a plant in the group photo. All right. And the G7 sorry, not the G7, in the coalition of the Willing meeting in Washington, he put a plant. All right. Now, I've said this and I kind of give it away the other day when I hinted. I believe that was a subliminal message from Donald Trump. Believe for a couple things. One, the plant, all right, to show people that one, he was put there for a purpose. So he was planted there by the WEF, NWO. I believe that's why that picture of the plant. Come on. I mean, think about it. Common sense. A plant dividing them to the female on the far left. A plant. He put a plant where Mark Carney was supposed to be. All right. So to me, that's a subliminal message to let people know this is a plant, and what that thing is in Ottawa, in Canada, was put there for a purpose, because he was planted there. That's what you guys got to see when you're playing Mr. Detective when it comes to all this. All right. That's what that subliminal message is. I'm 100% positive that he just didn't put that there for the hell of it. All right. And for jokes. Trump doesn't joke around when he was calling Justin Trudeau the governor. All right. In the 51st state. All right. Just to let you know. So I just letting you know. Now Trump brought, and I'm gonna play along with this. Now Trump didn't bring Pierre Poilievre into the picture and endorse them and stuff like that. Right? He made Pierre look bad by saying that Pierre would be, wouldn't be the guy we could deal with, but that Mark Carney would be the guy perfect for Canada. He put that there specifically. He put him there for disclosure and for the Great Awakening, because he put him there just like they put Joe Biden there to make us suffer for 4 years, which I don't think it'll go 4 years, but you never know, to make the elbows up, the liberal people suffer for 4 years, and to show the amount of corruption in our politics. That's what I believe. I'm going to stick with that. That is what I'm betting on. And I'm going to say I'm 99% positive that's why that Trump brought Mark Carney in there. And what has Mark Carney done so far, guys? What has Mark Carney did in the past 3-4 months? He's been saying he's given out millions and millions. I love it when they say that. They're giving out millions and millions to other countries. No, they're not giving out millions and millions to other countries. All right, just to let you know. No, because they don't have money to give out. But it's great for him to say he's given out millions of dollars. But that's not happening. That's more for division, to piss off people and, cause anxiety, cause division, just to let you know. All right. So another thing with the whole division part is, I don't know if you guys seen this, but the this is great. And I'm just gonna point something out. with the Donald Trump thing, because I get bored of talking Canadian politics. I really do. Let's go with this. I'm going to show you this Q drop, and you can. Is this a coincidence? I've already told you there's no such thing as a coincidence. But check out this Q drop. Okay. So when this Q drop was back in 2018, when it said the president of the United States meeting with Putin on 11/11. You guys see that? Now, what are the odds of that? And if you look on the top right-hand corner, it says right there in Anchorage, Alaska, live at 11:11 a.m., Putin and Donald Trump meet. What is the odds of that, guys? No, seriously, what are the odds of that? For the people that don't believe, they believe Q is a psyop and don't believe in it. I mean, I just get a kick out of people that say that. So I'll leave it to that. They can, live in their fantasy world. But speaking of fantasy world, now we all know in the United States, lawsuits when it comes to defamation and slander. For the people, for my patriot family in the States, when it comes to defamation and slander, you can sue anybody, right? Anybody for defamation and slander if something they said bad about you affects you, and financially, emotionally, whatever. But check this out by Barron Trump. I want you guys to check this out by Barron Trump. Barron Trump is not going to put this because of the amount of defamation and slander that this kid would ruin his future and ruin Trump. So anyway, check this out by Barron Trump. Russia intercepts adrenochrome shipment from the Israel containing blood of 10,000 children. According to a leaked report from Russian intelligence, an Israeli vessel carrying the largest adrenochrome shipment ever recorded was intercepted by Russian forces at the Tartus naval base in Syria. Destination, Hollywood, United States. Because you know what? Those stars, they need that adrenochrome for the stars that, haven't been taken out. But that's by Barron Trump. I hope you guys like that one. Adrenochrome, Russia, season, 10,000. Blood from 10,000 children going to United States, seized by Russia. All right. So if you don't think Donald Trump and Putin are not on the same team, this is Putin 2.0, by the way, in case you didn't know that. Just like Elon Musk 2.0, this is not the real Putin. This is Putin 2.0. The real Putin was taken out a long time ago. Some say 2012, some say 2015. I like to point out 2015 because that's when Trump came into power, you could say. 2012, he wasn't even thinking about it. 2015 is where I believe that the real Putin was taken out. And speaking of Putin and Russia, check out this video. I hope you guys seen that. That was a Russian tank with a Russia flag and an American flag on the tank. What would the Russian tank would have an American flag on their tank if Putin was such a bad person and all of this? I mean, think about it. Is that a common sense question? Do you actually think that Donald Trump and Putin and Bolsonaro from the president of Brazil, I can't even Bolsonaro, I can't even pronounce his name, and you don't think Neil from Argentina and Kim Jong from North Korea and Ching Chong Chi from China, you don't think they're not all working together? Yeah, they're working together, guys, just to let you know. Even though you hear the news talking about Xi, guys, they're flipping on Xi. I wonder why. The news is flipping on Xi because they know Xi now is working with Trump. That's why they're flipping on China. because they know I mean, you never heard any bad things come out of the news when it came to Xi. Now all of a sudden, he's a bad person. He's doing this in Canada and doing that in Canada, right? No, Xi is with Trump, and they know that now. So the people that own the news stations, which we all know, BlackRock and all those people, they are putting it out there to, for the elbows up crew that China is bad now. All right. Before China wasn't bad, but now China is bad. So anyway, you got your good China. You got a shadow government in China, just like you had a shadow government in the United States. And you got to remember, there's 1.2 or 1.4 billion people that live in China. That's almost 3 times the size in population than the United States. And you don't think they don't have a shadow government in China? You don't think they don't have two governments in China, the good and the bad? And so anyway, that was a great video. I kind of liked it when it came to that. Speaking of tards, he used to be my favorite actor, Robert De Niro. But obviously, Robert De Niro expecting a baby at 82 years old. And look at his wife. Is that a wife? I don't know about you guys, but that's no wife. All right. That definitely is no wife. And that definitely isn't no Robert De Niro, just to let you know. All right. I seen Robert De Niro. That's not Robert De Niro. But anyway, exposure. I loving it. It's a dude. Dude looks like a lady, or lady looks like a dude, whatever the song is. Dude looks like a lady. Yeah, dude looks like a lady. So as you can see, Robert De Niro with his chung chung ching, whatever, shemale. All right. So let's get rid of that. Even though Robert De Niro was once upon a time my favorite actor, I don't have favorite actors. And speaking of actor, and speaking of evilness, it's still happening in the United States, guys. But did you see the Vikings cheerleaders? They got these 2 people, these whatever you call them, as a cheerleader for the Vikings, guys. The Minnesota Vikings football team now have 2 gay cheerleaders. Now, I don't know about you guys. All right. I don't know about you guys, but one thing I'm going to tell you, and I love money and stuff, but one thing I would tell you, if I was a football player on the Minnesota Vikings, all right, I can promise you, if these 2 things came out on the field with pom-poms, this football player, myself, would be walking off. I'd be asking for a trade. Either way, I'd be quitting the team. I would fake an injury to keep the money. Either way, I wouldn't be on the team whatsoever. And they're getting backlash. But of course, it's in Minnesota. And we all know Minnesota is a shit show, right? It's a shit show, just like the shit show in Michigan. I don't know if you guys seen this in Michigan, for the people that didn't know this, but check this out. That's 40,000 people fill the streets in Dearborn in March in America. Those are all Palestinians. Those are all waiting to do bad things in the United States. That's in Michigan, guys. Dearborn, Michigan. That's not across the sea. That's in Michigan. There's places in Michigan that I know, and it's been a couple years, that actually have no-go areas. All right? No-go areas in Michigan from these people. How you doing, Frank? Mr. Truck, yeah. I seen you were hanging out with Mr. Nick, buddy. Keep up the good fight. So as I was saying, guys, that's in Michigan. 40,000 of them, of those Palestine, those hateful people. All right. It's a shame. It's disgusting. I feel bad, but I guarantee Donald Trump's going to fix that problem. And he's going to fix the New York problem, and he's going to fix the Washington, D.C. problem, and he's going to fix, well, I think he's fixed the California problem with the migrants. So just to let you know, and if you don't think that there is a plan going on, this is the plan. All right. 1 in 4 people in Canada were born somewhere else since 2021. That's right, guys. 1/4 1 in 4 people, 1/4, 25% of the people that are in Canada now they were born somewhere else. By 2032, 100% of our population growth will be from immigration. By 2050, Canada will be a country run by people who didn't build it, just inherited it. Your culture, your values, your history, all being erased, not by some orange men in the United States, but by very parties you keep electing, like the virtual contest. So as you can see, Norway, Germany, England, Sweden, France, now Canada. All right. That's all done by design. All right. All done by design from the elbows up, traitors, treason people that should be arrested or depopulated, AKA, hung for treason. Again, guys, I don't know what to tell you, but Manny says just need to look at the small rural areas. It says that, oh, yeah. I mean, Manny lives in Rishabuktu, and it's really Risha Filipino. That's what we're going to call it. Manny, you might even call it Risha Filipino, I think that's a good word for it, right? Rishabuktu, literally full of Filipinos. I mean, everywhere when I used to work for MB Power and I go to Rishabuktu, I couldn't believe how many Filipinos in that place. All right, it's packed. Toronto, I'm going to tell you right now, Toronto's done. I'm sorry for my Torontonians. You guys are done. Yeah, my girlfriend was never racist or prejudiced or anything like that. Now I made her a realist. She's a school teacher. Now she's a realist. No such thing as racist. Okay? Only liberals and vaxtards use the word racist. She's a realist now. And more people that she knows that she never even thought would say the word are saying they actually hate immigrants now. They finally come out and say they hate immigrants because they finally seen that when immigrants get out and get in charge or own a company or whatever, they only hire their own. Finally, these vaxtards and liberal voters that are her friends are seeing this for themselves. But it's too late. It's too late unless we get Donald Trump in here to clean the shit up. But you know what? We're going to have to go through a lot of pain. And these people are coming in by the thousands every single day, including the worst of them all is the Africans now coming in by the boatload. Africans, I don't care. I wouldn't even know who to pick between the Africans, the Punjabis, the Syrians. They're all the same to me. They're all in the same boat when it comes to destabilizing an economy and destabilizing countries. All three of those races are here not to migrate, but to invade. And that is my final thought and my final sentence for tonight's podcast, guys. I hope you stick around. I hope you guys love what you heard. And I hope you guys learned a lot of things. And when the next person calls you a racist, you can either do two things and say, no, I'm a realist, one, or you can say what I usually say, thank you. That's the kindest words anyone has to say. Is there a badge I can wear to actually tell me that I'm a racist? Because to me, I know what the difference of a racist and a realist is, and racism doesn't exist. All right? Realists exist. And unfortunately, they made us believe that racist is a bad thing. That's what they've been doing over the years. Preparing us, programming us for these years of what they're doing, because it's all been done and planned out since the 90s and the early 2000s. But they really pushed it out there in the last 4 years. Well, actually, they've been pushing it out since they got all these liberal people like Justin Trudeau in Canada, Merkel in Germany, Macron, dating his own father, married his own father in France. All of these people, all these dictators or AKA plants. All right, just to let you know. Anyway, I love you guys all. Thank you for coming out, the family back together. I love you. We'll be back Monday night at 9 o'clock Atlantic time, 8 o'clock Central time. We'll see what we have planned and what I have for you guys for Monday, because I'm sure there's going to be things popping up. Besides that, I'm going to play a little 2-minute banger for you Thursday nights are my favorite. Weekend is here. Here's a little Dropkick Murphys. And like Don Cherry will say, you people hold that line. Trump's coming to save us. It's just a matter of when. And more exposure. And Pierre Poilievre is finally back in. So it's going to be interesting to see his debates against the plant himself, Mark, skid mark Carney, because that's exactly what he is. He's a complete skid mark. Anyway, I love you guys all. And to my Colombian family, adios amigos. We'll see you guys back next Monday at 9 o'clock. Take care.